What's up, everybody? Alex here from Heavy New York at the Starline Ballroom, here at the one and only Ride for Dime East Coast Tri-State, and we got the man himself who put it together, Corey Pierce, formerly of God Forbid, and now arranging this awesome event for an amazing cause. Thank you for being here.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me and talking to me about what's going on here today.
Yeah. So I know that this is for a great cause, obviously for the pink beard in the sky. And, I know that we're doing this for the Marines and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it's Music Cares and Marines Care, prospectively. It just made sense. And my friend, actually, that was just in here, Bonnie, she's took, God forbid, to the Center for the Intrepid in San Antonio. And we started trying to do different things for the military where we could and let people know what was going on and try to just donate some time, for people that fight for your freedom, basically. Like, if you can't donate your time to that, then you're kind of like a piece of shit, I feel like.
I agree 100%. Now, obviously coming from God Forbid and stuff like that, and now you're arranging this. I mean, how is it kind of like arranging a show versus playing it?
It's very stressful. There's so much work. I have a lot of people helping me out, which is great. Like, I got a whole crew of people that have been helping since the beginning. From all different, like, just different promoters and friends that I had here. Freddie that owns Dingoes and Dingbats is on the committee. Mike from Zenergy and Smitty. Yep. Homage, Old Bridge Mental Militia Nation. Chris and Patty Hominy. Philly Joe, who was vice president of the Ride for Dime for a long time. Just a lot of people helping out, which made things easier. But it's just a lot of moving parts. You got 16 bands. Yeah. You got all these different raffle items that we got. Like Hatebreed sent me a guitar. Dean sent me a guitar. Got signed by Living Color. Lamb of God sent me stuff. Just friends that I know from touring, so they just sent me stuff to raffle off for a good cause. But it's just like a lot of moving parts and getting everybody like on the same page and a lot of scheduling. It's a lot, It's a lot when you're playing a show, kind of, but it's not as much. Like, you usually call the show, like, all right, what time we got to be there? What's loading? And you get there and sit around a lot, you know what I mean? Exactly. This is kind of like I've been running since the morning. Just I need to sit down for about 5 minutes and just kind of reorganize everything.
Well, I'm so grateful that you're doing this. And one question that actually the fans wanted me to ask, those who haven't checked out Doc Coyle's podcast yet, which you should, is there a potential for a God Forbid reunion?
That is always the question, isn't it? There's always potential for it. I think that we've discussed it. Where are you going? We've discussed it, and it just depends. It's something that's got to happen organically, and it's more important that everybody's like, feeling just on a friendly page and feeling the connection of just playing together first before that can happen. But I definitely think there's potential for it to happen. Okay. It's just, it's a lot of work to make that happen because we're all spread out across the country now. Like Byron's in Texas, Doc's out in L.A., Beaker's up in Pennsylvania. I'm the last man standing here in Jersey. So, it's just it's gonna have to be the right situation, and just it's not that it maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I can't guarantee one way or the other, but I ultimately think that it will at some point. I just don't know when.
Okay, it'll definitely be worth the wait. I could promise you that.
I think so. I'm anxious to see how it turns out.
Exactly. So before we go, first of all, I want to thank you so much for your time doing this for me. Is there any other shows that you're throwing or anything else that you would like to promote, give any shout-outs to?
There's going to be a bunch of stuff going on. I'm actually going to do a birthday show probably at Dingbats for myself.
Oh, really?
I'm going to have some bands on there. I've been working with some bands, producing some records. A couple of bands here I produced their records, like Negative Sky and Lethal Affection.
They're all great.
And
you did the Choose a Side record?
Yes, I did. Affection? Yeah. So I'm going to be throwing a couple shows, probably doing some stuff at Dingbats and maybe a couple other venues, just trying to, spread the love in New Jersey, man. Get the scene sort of kind of interconnected. That was a lot of what this was about, was kind of connecting everybody. I feel like there's so much separation, It's like it's got to be this scene. It's like the death metal scene or the fucking whatever scene. No, it doesn't really have to be that way. As people are making it that way. Like we used to play a lot of hardcore shows or whatever. You just play whatever shows were available to you. So like everybody hung out together, and it was like I felt like there's much more unity going on. Like I was a fan of other bands. Like I went to E-Town shows. I went to Dillinger shows, and you know when they were still drawing 50 kids. You know what I mean? That's just what you did.
Exactly.
You know, but it's I'd like to see more of that. So that's the spirit of what I'm doing. I guess if you could call it anything, is just trying to bring that sort of brotherhood. Back to New Jersey and New York and Pennsylvania, so trying to do my part.
I feel like God Forbid was a testament to that because, they played at Mayhem Fest with Marilyn Manson and Slayer. Then you played, the last show with Five Finger Death Punch and Killswitch. You toured with a variety, so.
I mean, we literally played with, like, every kind of band. Like, we did, crazy Hate Breed tour. Like, Hate Breed tours are always great because they're very similar in that way. Like, they can play a number of crowds and they're still just loved, I felt like we moved pretty freely and did pretty much whatever we wanted, like whether it was touring with Gwar or Anthrax or Slayer or whatever, I felt like we felt completely at peace. We did a lot of death metal, shows too, like Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that, and it's like, totally went fine. It was okay. It's still a good time.
It's always a good time. So, again, I want to thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Everybody, Corey Pierce here. If you did not make it out to Ride for Dime, you have missed out. All-star lineup. The man himself threw it. Be sure to support Music Cares and Marines Care, and we will see you next time on Heavy New York.